Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial from my book Mindful Arts in the Classroom. This tutorial is for mindfulness educators, primary teachers, parents, guardians, camp counselors, drama teachers, people who work with kids in some fashion, whether at home or out in the world. And the chapter we're going to be focusing on today is Lesson 6, The Lion in Me. And it actually can go along with my book, The Lion in Me. It's basically the same text. I think one or two words are different, but it's basically the same text. So you can basically just pick up The Lion in Me when the story is read within the lesson. All right, so The Lion in Me. How to name and tame anger, our inner beast. And the quote for the chapter is by Thomas Jefferson, who said, "When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, 100. So think about that one. So anger is one of our most challenging and easily accessible emotions, for many of us at least. It is the bodyguard of grief, embarrassment, frustration, fear, shame, hurt, and loneliness, just really to name a few. It can also be stated that anger is a secondary emotion, protecting us from what the body and brain think of as the weaker emotions. When we are sobbing, we are much more vulnerable than if we are enraged. And if we remember from the last lesson, every emotion is okay, but every action is not. Anger, of all the emotions, is the one that tends to get us into the most trouble if we are not skillful when it arises. The first step is to even notice the sensations of anger activating within the body so that those signals can inform us of what to do wisely with this information the body is giving us. This lesson will help us notice when anger begins to growl within us so that we can prevent its attack or guide it with care when it wants to roar. So we need, of course, our singing bowl, perhaps the Lion in Me book, the puppy, the stuffed animal puppy to give to a student for the week. And it begins like this. Hello, mindful learners. How are you all today? Let's do a little thumb check-in. Are we feeling, how's our mind feeling? Is it busy? Mine's a little busy today, so I'm going to say it right about here. I don't know why it's busy. I just feel a little wound up. And then how's our body feeling? Oh boy, yeah, I've got some aches and pains today, so I'm going to say somewhere around here. And let's check in with our hearts. Do our hearts feel open or closed? Yeah, I'm going to say right here. Interesting day for me. Good. Excellent. You know what? Why don't we give ourselves a hug? I know I could use a little hug right now. Good. Very nice. Maybe a little shoulder massage, neck massage. Good. You can even do your jaw if you'd like, your ears. It has all sorts of pressure points that feel good. Excellent. Well, no matter how we are feeling, we can just be with what is. All right. Now, I want us to talk about the last time I was here. Remember what we talked about? We practiced noticing our emotions and where we feel them in our bodies. Raise your hand if you noticed any big emotions this week, like mad or sad or bored or super happy or excited. And then you'd ask when. Oh, good. You want to share? Fantastic. Where did you feel happy in your body? Where did you feel angry in your body? And does anyone remember what STOP stands for? That's right. It stands for stop your body, try and breathe, observe your feelings, and peacefully proceed. Good job. All right, so then I check in with focus time and I say either who would like to be the puppy sitter, or look, it says on our roster here that so-and-so, it's their chance to be the puppy sitter. I invite them to do it. If they say no, I ask them if they'd like to be the leader of the class. And if they don't want to participate that day, let's just move on to the next person. So I would give them the puppy. And again, if you've forgotten what that is, the puppy sits in their lap, and their goal or their job is to just let the puppy fall asleep there, and to have the skill or the wherewithal to not play with it, not throw it in the air, not put it on their shoulder, just have it sleep in the lap of the person for the whole 25 or 30 minutes. Okay. So let's please find our mindful posture. And I like to say that's sitting up nice and tall, like your favorite superhero. Good. Please allow your eyes to close. And if it feels more comfortable, you can just focus on your shoes or your ankles or a point in front of you. And you can even close your eyes and cover your eyes with your hands like this, if that makes you feel comfortable. And please take 3 slow, mindful breaths. Breathing in 1. Breathing in 2. Breathing in 3. Wiggling your toes. Just your toes, not your feet. Wiggling your fingers. Let's just sit like this for about another 30 seconds or more. Noticing where there's tension in your body, and just getting curious about where there's tension, where there's relaxation. Just notice it. What does tension feel like? Is it tingly? Is it warm or cold? Hot? What color is it? Just notice it. And if your mind is busy, that's okay. Just say, hello, busy mind. Just like you're watching a movie, but instead of being in the front row, maybe you're way in the back, a little less engaged, a little bit more removed, allowing the picture to just do its thing if it needs to. Sometimes the picture gets bored of trying to get our attention, so it calms down. Sometimes it doesn't. Good. When you are ready, open your eyes. So how was that today? We sat for about 2 minutes. Was it hard or easy? Well, you did a very good job. And remember, practice makes progress. So today we're going to learn more about one of our biggest emotions. I wonder if you can figure out what that is. To do that, I have a story to read to you about a lion. Can we all roar like a lion? Roar! Wow, that was very scary and excellent. Now let's take one more slow, deep breath and get really quiet. Good. This is the story. It teaches us how to name and tame our inner beast. The lion in me. I have a lion in me, but it's not a lion that I can see. I feel the lion in my stomach first. Sometimes it feels like I'm gonna burst. When the lion starts to growl, can I hear you growl? Rawr, good. I want to give a great big howl. You want to roar again? Or you roar? Rawr, good. My fists begin to tighten. Can I see tight fists? Good. My face begins to brighten. Invite them. You can hold your breath if you want. And then you can exhale. I don't know the lion's name, but sometimes I want to grab it by its mane. That's that big furry part around a lion's head. The lion can get so wild, it often acts like the meanest child. Can I see really mean kids? That's good. I've noticed when it rears its head, when my family wants me out of bed. Another time that it shows up is when people try to take my stuff. I finally figured out the lion's name. You want to guess what the emotion is? What do you think? I think I heard it. Anger or mad, right? It's anger. That's who I have to tame. So when I notice anger wants to rage, now I kindly ask anger to behave. When I feel anger start that crying, I give a slow inhaling breath to the lion. Let's take a breath. Let's take another one. And wiggle your toes. Anger seems to calm down that way and then becomes more tame today. By noticing my lion's need to react, the angry lion tends to shrink back. I know anger can just pass through me. So I name it, here's anger, to tame it, to train it, and let the lion calmly be. Yeah, great. Yeah, the words are a little different in the book, The Lion and Me, but similar concept. All right, so I have a question for you students. In the story, what is the name of the lion? That's right, anger. And do you remember how the child helped tame his lion? First he named it, and then what? What rhymes with name? He tamed it. That's right, he trained it. And he did STOP, didn't he, right? He stopped, he tried to breathe, he observed his feelings, which was anger, and then he peacefully proceeded. So when do you get angry? I'll give you some examples of when I get angry. When I get angry, I may make a mistake. Or I used to get more angry, not so much anymore, but when my dog when he was a younger puppy, I'd get frustrated that he'd eat something on the ground or pull the leash or, try to play with another dog when I didn't want him to. Another time might be driving, although that doesn't happen so much anymore. That's what's great about mindfulness, is it trains you to be not so reactive. So when do you get angry? You can share. Fantastic. So it might be when someone takes your stuff without asking, when an adult tells you can't do something. When else do you feel angry? Good. So now we're going to practice the lion and me activity. Shall we see if we can find our own lion inside of us? Let's pretend we are getting angry. And you can think of something that kind of makes you mad. It doesn't have to be huge, but maybe, someone didn't let you play a video game, or you didn't get what you wanted at the store, or I don't know, your teacher didn't listen to you, or you didn't think your teacher was listening to you, right? Something not huge, but enough that can make you upset. Good. So let's see what anger looks like on us. Good. Excellent. Do our fists clench? Does our face change? How does your stomach feel? Does it feel tight? Do your legs feel tight? Do you feel your lion stirring? Why don't we stomp our feet? Yeah, Now let's take a slow breath and imagine that it calms our lion down just a little. Ready? Take a breath and breathe out. I love how the shoulders just drop automatically when I don't even can't think about it and they just drop. Let's do it again. They dropped again, didn't they? And breathing in. And wiggling your toes. Good. With every breath, imagine your lion getting more and more relaxed until finally it curls up and goes back to sleep. Maybe it's even a little lion cub, right? And it's in your belly, fast asleep. Imagine your shoulders and arms and hands relaxing, your stomach relaxing, your legs and feet relaxing, your face relaxing. Every part of your body is getting softer. Can you even imagine your lion fading away? Can you imagine that? It's just sort of disappearing in your belly. Good. Now let's bring a smile to our faces. Let me see. And let's see if that changes the way we feel, just by bringing a smile. Good. Maybe wiggle your nose if you can. Like that. Yeah. Or like that. Yeah. Good. Right? It's hard to be mad when you're trying to wiggle your nose, right? Good. Makes my nose tickle. Good. All right. So then we can do a variation here, and we invite a volunteer one at a time and ask them to think of something that annoys them. Perhaps when a friend takes their stuff or when they don't get what they want at the store. That's funny. I remembered what I wrote. They don't have to tell you what it is, but when they are ready, ask them to allow their angry lion out. When the lion is really raging, instruct the rest of the class to help them tame the volunteer's inner beast by quietly saying to them, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, several times in unison until the volunteer starts to calm their angry lion down, and invite them to shake their shoulders and smile before returning their seat. Because one thing about anger is it will stick with the body unless we really actively let it go, right? That's why after a tense day, people want to go for a run or go swimming or do yoga or have a drink or eat or whatever. The body needs to feel like it's safe again. And anger is that protective mechanism that wants to keep the body and the mind and this being safe. So it needs to know that things are okay now. Good. And then there's this additional section, which I don't really talk about too much because I tend to work with younger kids, like pre-K through third. But this is interesting. I'll read it to you. Did you know that anger could be covering up another emotion like sadness or fear or embarrassment? When I get mad, when I am driving, I'm really just scared I might get hurt by another driver. Or when I am mad at my dog, I'm really just afraid he won't listen to me and get hurt or sick or run away. When we get angry, our brain tries to make us strong like a superhero. But the problem is that when we get angry, our brain stops working well and we make bad decisions. We might say something mean to someone, or worse, we might want to hit them. We become more like a supervillain than a superhero, right? Now, everyone gets angry sometimes, but the next time our lion starts to take over our mind and our body, we will know what to do. We will notice our lion stirring, and we will slowly breathe over and over until we start to feel calm again. Other ways to help tame our anger are to take a walk, shake off the tension in our hands, do kind self-talk, talk to a friend or an adult. Or you can give yourself a self-hug, self-massage, or put your hands on your stomach and take a breath. These things can all help us calm down. How do you all calm down when you're angry? You can brainstorm and think just additional ideas to calm the angry lion. Go to a designated place in the classroom, such as the peace corner. Shake a glitter jar and watch the glitter settle. Use a breathing ball, a mini Hoberman sphere, or squishy ball. Smell a pleasant fragrance. Lie down or use an eye pillow. All right, because here's the secret. When we calm down, our smarts go up and we start to make better choices. When we get angry or flip our lid, which we'll get to in the next lesson or two, a part of our brains, which is called the prefrontal cortex, this part right here, is where all our smarts are. So when we take a deep breath, we bring oxygen to this part of our brain, and it begins to calm down, and we stop flipping our lid. Now, here's another important tool to use when we notice we are getting mad. Speak up and say how you are feeling. I feel mad when you try to take my toy or when you are mean to me. These are just a few ideas for you to think about the next time the lion wants to take over. With every breath, we can decide the type of person we want to be. We can decide to be our own lion tamer. We don't need to get rid of our anger. Now, this is important. We don't need to get rid of our anger. We just don't want it taking over us so quickly that we make bad choices, right? Because every emotion is okay, but every action is not. It's okay to be mad, but it's not okay to be mean. All right. Yeah, because sometimes anger is a really helpful emotion. It gets us, out of a tricky situation, dark alley. It helps us fight for our rights, whatever it is. Good. All right, so today we learned about anger. Here is your mindful challenge until next time. It's similar to last week's challenge. Practice noticing your feelings or emotions. If you have a strong emotion like happiness or anger or sadness, just notice it. Before you do anything, see if you can feel it bubbling up inside you. Where do you feel it? In your hands, face, stomach? See if you can remember to take a mindful breath to really notice the emotions in your body. See if by naming it, you can tame it. Just a little bit. Say this with me. If I name it, I can tame it. If I name it, I can tame it. I like that. I haven't used that in a while. All right, I'll ring the bell for the last time today. So please find your mindful posture and allow your eyes to close. And put your hand on your belly button if you'd like, or your reset button, I like to call it. And take 3 mindful breaths. And I'll ring the bell. And when you can no longer hear any sound coming from the bell, slowly raise your hand to your heart or to the sky. Good. Now, without shifting too much, just gently open your eyes. Great, everyone. You were so focused, and you will only get better with practice. Practice makes progress. All right, next time when I'm here, we can see who remembered to notice their big feelings. Thanks so much for being a focus class, and I will see you next time. All right, that's that chapter. Again, that was 24 minutes, moving very slowly and doing all the options. So every class usually is somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes. Really just varies on what you decide to cover and how many kids are in the class, etc., etc. Okay, I think that's it. The main thing is, not to pretend anger isn't there, no spiritual bypassing. We don't want to pretend that we're always happy, but we do want to be able to respond wisely when anger arises rather than react blindly, because reacting blindly usually gets us into trouble. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time when we will focus on finding the pleasant in the present, training the mind to look for the good. All right, thanks so much, and I will see you next time.